his son is fantastic. I mean, he's fantastic. Wahoo Jr. is a great human being. I really stepped in shit. That's a New York saying for wow. Is this really going on? But yeah, I'm very happy, man. But
That's awesome, though. Congrats.
Thank you. But it snowed. And it hasn't snowed in 36 years. And of course, Mike, I didn't just bring, my usual New York jet luck that we suffer through. I brought snow. And I could smell it. I try to tell everybody it's coming. There's no snow shovel plows. There's no salt out here. There's no nothing. I did bring my ice scraper from New York. That saved my ass getting off my shift.
Last week it snowed here, and I moved to Nashville 5 years ago. It snowed here, and my stepdaughter, she just started driving like a couple months ago, and we were like, "Oh fuck, we don't have a snow scraper." So my fiance was out there with a spatula, a rubber spatula, scraping the windshield.
Nice.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, when you're shoveling, do you end up getting bat wings from the sweat?
Are you back to the
shoveling?
You're back to the bat wings again?
I'm back to the bat wings. Chubby, when you do a lot of sweating when you're shoveling?
I do. I'm sweating right now. I'm sitting here.
Well, let me help you.
He's got bat wings. He's got bat wings right now.
Our new sponsor, Mando.
There you go.
They'll get rid of those bat wings for you, Chubby. All right. You just spray it in between your sack, get it off your legs, right?
Your sack
it comes right off.
Sack release spray.
Sack release spray, and the scent is wonderful.
Oh my God!
And if you use the code MATP, you'll get 5% off.
This is real too.
This is real. A lot of things that go on here. And guess what? If you're hanging out with the old lady, and of course, in typical Monty form,
just like the commercial,
you use this and you smell really good, man. You put it all over yourself, possibly, maybe get it licked off. Who knows? But you know what?
Hey.
Mando, MATP.
Mando.
There you go, buddy.
Wow.
Anyway.
Dude, I've been trying to, I want to change the new intro, but that intro is so good. I just can't change it. Like, I can't find the heart. That is like the best fucking music riff. But by the way, I got to tell you, I swear to God, when I see your friend Bart, I'm going to kill him. Because I spend more time, because he must have put your music on some kind of share drive. I got to fight copyrights all the time now. It's torture. I got to show you when you finally come to Florida, you're in New York, I'm going to show you how many times I had a fight. You're going to go, holy shit, man. You're going to say, holy shit.
I don't know what the problem is, but I appreciate you airing it live on the air.
When you
But killing Bart is out of the question, by the way.
I'm not going to kill Bart, but I'm going to yell at him though. Yeah, just a little. Just a little.
Just a little.
But if you put your stuff on like, Spotify and stuff like that, those rights to that music go to that fucking place. It's today's music, dude.
Is that an issue with YouTube? Is that a YouTube issue?
No,
I know that Bart has looked into it and can't find anything.
Here's the idea behind it. So back in the day when you were cutting music albums, right? You got paid on the album that was sold, whatever you made a deal with, right? With whoever company, right? Whether it was 20 cents an album. I don't know what the cost was, right?
Okay, I got it.
With the downloads, they pay you by download. But here's the issue. They get the copyrights to it. So the idea behind it is this. If you allow every band, just like every podcast, you allow every one of them
Yeah.
download their music.
I understand the premise.
If someone uses it, they're going to get money. Like, we're monetized, right?
You see, but here's where I get lost, and I understand everything you just said because I
Okay.
understand the premise of this situation. Okay, but let me spell this out for you. What I find confusing. All right, when you have a song that you're using for our show, and the music you're using has a YouTube channel where you can hear every single cut from both albums for free. Why is YouTube not contacting our channel? Why are they giving our channel a hard time and not contacting the guys who actually own the material?
Here's the thing. They're assuming you're not going to challenge it. So if you're monetized, they get a piece of that. When I challenge it, we win. Right? I'll show you we win. But I have to fill out this form every time.
So what are you telling me? They don't care what we think on our end as the songwriters?
Once you downloaded it to Spotify, you have lost all control or whatever.
Oh.
I don't know where you guys put it, but someone owns the rights to it.
You think Reverb Nation? Because we own the rights to it, first of all.
I can tell you
I can tell you that much. We own the rights legally to that.
I'm going to tell you what comes across our social media site, okay? Not to bore anybody, but let me find it real quick, okay? Come on. There's like a million of them, and when I need it, I can't. Oh, Fuga aggregation. FUGA.
I have no idea I personally have no idea what that is.
Wow.
None.
Anyway, let's stop.
I've never even heard of it.
Yo, Jimmy, you got crazy Monty now. You know what's going on in my life right now, and now I've lost. Now I've become unhinged. Now you can't stop. Like, I had to be careful of what I was saying before. Now I don't really give a fine fuck anymore.
Oh, that sounds great. Go on.
You were just like, oof. Last show, you were like, oof.
Yeah, well.
How'd you like last show? What'd you think of last show? Do you think I'm sorry, everybody? We're on a time thing because we also do audio. And if I let it run too long, I have to cut up the audio too much. So, the show was going long. We were having fun with the Conan thing. I didn't mean to cut it off like that, but got to stick to the rules, right? So I apologize. Anyway, I digress.
Fair enough. What's on the docket tonight? What are we doing after?
Got a lot on the docket, but again, I forgot to do something. So just bear with me a second, please. Keep talking, Jimmy. Help me out, bro.
Oh, yeah. Keep talking. Well, I would like to say on behalf of Stereo Hall that I apologize for the headache, but we have exhaustively looked from our end, and I don't see an issue. And whoever you just mentioned, I'll forward that to Bart. What am I going to do? There's so much I know. There's nothing. And everybody, by the way, and everybody else out there knows that I'm not involved with the channel stuff like you are, and it's the same case with the band. I'm not aware of any of this shit.
There's nothing Bart can do. The horse is out of the.
Why even yell at Bart then? You're mean. You're like mean Monty, and you're making me fucking uncomfortable. What are you doing?
You are getting a bit uncomfortable, dude.
You're making me stressed. Don't make me stressed. I was born stressed.
I don't want you to be stressed.
That's not good.
Look, I'm not even stressing as I'm trying to get something
for those out there, if I could speak on your behalf briefly, Monty has every right to be in.
Wait a minute, you got to do Conan when you do that. When you got to speak on something, you
let me speak on this.
By the way, at the end of his videos when he does that like and subscribe thing, Disco should do it because he's just awful. He's awful in so many different ways. I don't know how else to say.
Did you catch maybe because it's our generation, did you catch what I said at the very end of the show when you asked me to sign off about Tell Me a Story, Mommy? Do you know what that's from?
What?
Oh, by the way, that go-to.
Oh, I know that. I know what that is. Yeah.
You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
That's when Fred Flintstone discovers the bowling ball at the top of the closet, and it drops off and hits him in the head, and you see this big lump come out, and he's like, "Tell me a story, Mommy."
Dude, I thought it was from.
No, it's from the Flintstones.
I thought it was from. What do you call it?
Flintstones.
The Wall. Pink Floyd.
What's in the Wall where it's "Tell me a story"?
When he's like, "Mommy, there's a plane up in the sky."
Oh, no, that's not "Tell me a story, Mommy."
Well, I was kind of thought it was like,
"Look, Mommy,
there's a plane up in the sky."
You're talking about, "Look, Mommy, there's an airplane up in the sky.
All right, don't. That makes me
Fucking
sad. Makes me
That's
sad.
great. That's a great song. Oh my God.
It is a great song. Donald Trump calls for 60 Minutes to be terminated amid lawsuit over Kamala Harris interview. CBS claims could lose its license. CBS and 60 Minutes defrauded the public by doing something which has never, to this extent, seen before, Trump said in a social media post. They 100% removed Kamala's horrible election-changing answers to questions. Well, you know the story behind that, right?
Yes,
That
I do.
they supposedly gave her all the questions. What are you thinking
Softball.
about Donald Trump trying to make everything right?
Well, isn't that what occurred? Did I miss something? You let me know.
Do we really know what occurred?
Well, it looked like for sure, and he's pointed it out multiple times, softball questioning from a certain point of view. And if anybody can't see that, then everybody's lying to themselves. There are certain stations and there are certain shows that have their agenda, and it's plain and simple. And if he points out something like this, and this is what's happening, and it appears to be, she's given a bunch of softball questions. But when you see the narrative, anytime Trump's got the balls to go on a show, he is not given softball questions. He is challenged, and then he shoots it down, and you shut the fuck up.
But bro, it's over.
What's over?
Over.
Meaning?
The presidential race is over.
Right, but they're going to keep going. What, you think that's going to stop? Are you serious?
Don't you think it should stop? Don't you think it should stop?
Do I think it should stop? I don't think it should have occurred in the first place.
I understand. I get it. Do
you realize that since 2008, there's only been 4 years, basically, where there was a conservative point of view? Do you realize that? So all these messes that we're currently enduring as a nation have been dominated by that party. What are you talking about? Make some fucking sense, because even mathematically, yeah, you, Conan, you probably can't do the math. Mike, what is 2008 to 2025 minus 4?
Ocho.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you for saying like Conan, but the answer is, as everybody should fucking know, is basically you're almost at 20 years of it. You know, you're in the late teens where you've had control of everything. And if everything's so rotten, how come in the 4 years where we finally had a president didn't start a war with that bullshit Hitler comparison, didn't start a war, you know? Give me a fucking break already. Somebody
Dude,
make
you know
something? A show like 60 Minutes has tremendous power. Agreed? Agreed?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if they have an agenda, then guess what? It's not news anymore. And it's not old yet to say that when Walter Cronkite, Walter Cronkite, yeah, easy for me to say. When he was doing it back then, it was news. When Walter Cronkite was doing news,
dude,
it was
news hasn't been news since Jerry Springer, man. Come on. I mean,
right.
We keep on, we're really starting to age ourselves because we keep going back in time thinking things are going to get, they should be, would be, or whatever. It's never going to be the same. But I will tell you, you have said this Hitler comment a lot of times, and it clearly has bothered you.
Yeah.
But what did surprise me on the last show was the Tommy Dreamer false prophet thing. That didn't seem to trigger you as much. How come?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Well, you didn't seem okay. You seemed to be like, I don't agree with it, but it didn't trigger you into a Pharaohism.
Okay, good point. Because I answered two different scenarios differently. I told you before the show when it came to Tommy Dreamer, we discussed how I felt about it. And I said, I think the best way for me to answer is as a church youth minister and elder. That's why I answered it that way. What is an elder's job, Mike? Why do you go on Sundays? What do you go look for?
To learn, to teach, to become better.
And to learn from what type of approach from the person. You know how I always talk about this, right?
Right?
Okay, that's why I answered it that way. I answered it responsibly, and I didn't abandon or go too far from those two books that we read and believe in, and why you go to church and why some go to temple and then some go to temple and church. But that's me, which is I'm different that way, being raised by Jewish people but being born with Christian blood. So there's me. and that's a whole different ball of wax. So, but I answered it.
So then when someone calls
without
Trump
name
President,
calling, without
when someone calls President Trump Hitler, why isn't your approach exactly the same way?
well, it's more passionate because now I'm talking through my family and I'm talking as me. The Pharaoh, as we've discussed in the past, sure, it's a character, and as you like to remind people when they get so heated, we're a fucking shtick. All right, to you people out there who don't fucking get what we are. All right, Pharaoh's an extension of my character, my real person, but it's an extension. And if I got to explain to you out there what that means, then you don't get wrestling to begin with. Okay, we didn't come into this like we're two schlubs.
I'm gonna be
what
fair.
The fuck's going on here,
a lot of times I'm shticking it, but like certain things do bother me, and they're just
that's
factual.
where you get the extension. You asked me why do I react that way? Because the real me was raised by a Jewish man, and I understand what Hitler did because I had my grandfather who told me. It's just something I know existed. And then when I watch when Obama allowed the president of Iran to come in and say that the Holocaust never happened, I mean, what are we talking about here? What are you people? Where are you coming from? All right, you're not coming from. You're getting the Pharaoh thing because that's my dad you're talking about. So yeah, it is more personal. What Tommy Dreamer's got to say, I don't give two shits about Tommy Dreamer, bro. But when random, uneducated people throw Hitler and Trump in the same sentence, I go berserk.
And I get it, but you understand my point. Where a guy like Dreamer gets triggered because someone's critiquing a wrestling match, but he has the balls to fucking call Christ a false prophet.
Right.
Again, I'm not, Jimmy, I'm going to tell you, I'm not letting this one go. I'm going to beat this fucking dog to the ground.
You shouldn't. Don't forget, Christians were persecuted too. In the beginning, a lot of them were Jews. You know, they've been persecuted too to a terrible level. So don't tell me. And Christianity is currently under attack. Sorry, folks. Hate to break it.
You know what's so funny?
You know, but
when he said this,
it is under attack.
There's not one dirt sheet that picks it up. But if he had said a racist comment, right, whether white, black, whatever he was going to say,
it
would have been all over.
Whatever fits the narrative. That's
Hulk Hogan's still being crucified, but you can call Christ a false prophet. Unbelievable. And then you got stupid LaGreca laughing about it. That's another guy. I run into him and slap him in his face. All right, let's talk about some real stuff. You ready?
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm ready. All
right, so we had the Royal Rumble. Tell me what you think about this, brother.
All right.
Oh, my God.
Want to try it again?
That is quite possibly the greatest spear in the history of pro wrestling. Can I say that? Am I allowed to say that?
No, you are allowed to say it. Now, let me ask you this.
That was absolutely beautiful.
All right, so
that's a 10.
We know that this is a social media guy, right?
Yes.
Whoops, let me get it to the right picture. Hold on a second. First of all, I wanted to ask you, how do you like the fact that the WWE now is smartened up and they're starting to go after major social media influencers to do their shows?
I think it's smart, and I think that spot was wonderful. And the funniest part of it all was all right, let's get to the basics. Did it work? Yes, it did. Was it entertaining? Yes, it was. You know, that's the end game right there.
Well, can I ask you this? I'm going to play it again.
Yeah.
That guy was not ready for that.
No,
There's no way he was ready for that.
Nope. You know what? At the end of the day, I bet you he'll never look at wrestling the same, but I think that it was smart of them. He's got like millions of followers, correct?
Dude, you see, that's what we were talking about in the first show, right? Was
we
were saying, we're dusting the wind, man.
Yeah.
This guy is so big that a major conglomerate like the WWE says, come to our show and we're going to throw you in a Royal Rumble. And here's a smart thought. I had heard this somewhere. This is not my thought, but I was like, now that's smart. Give Triple H even more credit. Okay. Yeah. This is called the business, or it might be Tony Khan. Maybe it's Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah.
Back in the day, Vince, who is the greatest promoter of all time, would bring in a Mr. T.
He tapped into it. Right.
You know, you'd bring in a Mr. T,
Cindy
Cindy Lauper. He
Yeah.
must have paid millions. How much do you think the WWE pays a social media guy, no matter how many followers he have?
I have no idea.
What do you
I
say,
honestly
50
don't.
grand, 60
What,
grand?
for that particular thing? I don't
Yeah.
know. Good question. Is that what you think it's worth?
I'm going to tell you right now. I can't. Okay.
I bet
If
you
it's
he got something considerable. I'll bet you.
I consider $60,000 considerable to be taken to a show, be on a major pay-per-view, and get your ass kicked. I would say yes.
Right. Did he expect it at that level? Obviously not.
Well, I think maybe they showed him what to do, and he was just not
getting
prepared.
your ass kicked part. The getting your ass kicked part of it. Or do you think that?
But think about that. There's no way that you're paying a lot of money to this guy, even though how popular he is.
Right.
You know, I guarantee some of these major social media guys do it for fucking free.
You think he's one of them?
Not that guy.
All right, let's get back to basics. How many social media folks have truly broken the plane outside of Logan Paul? And Logan Paul's done amazing, in my opinion, and yours. So outside of him, who have they brought in?
Well, we talk, again, on regular WWE.
To me, this feels like a new experiment.
On regular WWE programming,
yeah,
you see Blonde Wheezy. They show her in those reaction podcasts. Denise Salcedo. I know you don't know them, but they're on there, though. They put them on there. They put them on documentaries. Right. You know, what did Coach call them? Reaction podcasters.
Yeah, but this dude that just took this spear feels a little different to me.
No, this guy, again, I'm talking dust in the wind. This guy is like, when he goes on, there's a billion people watching him. He's making a living doing it. And think about this, Jimmy. How many places contact this guy to come to their nightclub, to do this, to do that? This guy's raking the bucks, dude.
Right. Do you think we're going to see him again? Because I do.
He said no.
Really? The spear did enough. That's it. He's done.
Again, according to him, don't know how
the way he got hit. I could see that. I'd be like, fuck this.
So the basis of this show, the basis of this show is what the fuck did I just do, man? Oh, there you go. The basis of the show. I'm such a dweeb. The basis of this show is, mistakes are masterpiece, right? Is the Royal Rumble. We've got a lot to talk about. It did very well. But everybody knows Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble, right?
Yeah.
Here's my point. We all know that wrestling is fake. I use the word fake. Sorry. Scripted, predetermined, whatever you want to call it.
Bogus at worst case.
But I think, right, we just spoke about Speed, the internet sensation guy, right? And breaking this fourth wall.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of this?
Give me that Royal Rumble. Give me that. The voice. Oh, deserve to get it. It is you. Oh, you bro. It is you. Man, congratulations. It is you.
I had a problem with that, Jimmy.
Why?
Because you got Jacob Fatu, one of the fucking big-time heels.
Yeah.
Going to be a monster.
Yeah.
And I understand they're all part of the same family, okay?
Uh-huh.
And this is behind the scenes. Why would anyone release that videotape?
Because kayfabe is dead. Every last thing about it is dead. And
doesn't that ruin it for you?
It's starting to. I don't know. It's become difficult to watch something turn plastic. And I feel that it's one thing to tear down the curtain. We all understand the realities of it, but I would much prefer them presented as a show, and I don't need to see stuff like that, and keep it as real as possible, please. I mean, I'm sure you're with me on that, right?
When I saw that video, I was really disappointed. I'm like, I understand they got things for documentaries. Like,
shouldn't be released right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I still agree with the old school premise to keep them separated from each other in the public eye. And I don't like Twitter wars, by the way. I think
No,
that's lame.
dude, Twitter. See,
There's
that's
a
where
lot of things.
this is
find
where
that
I
lame.
disagree with you,
I
though.
find that lame.
Dude.
Keyboard typing against each other? Come on, man.
Dude,
this is
because
wrestling.
you're thinking, no, that is respecting the wrestling.
boo.
You're using the tools that are
perhaps.
given to you.
I understand that, but I mean, come on. I'm supposed to tap into that? You're telling me you're okay. You've tapped into it. You understand why, and I understand why you understand why. Okay, but here's coming from me, who watched the wrestling and watched it change into what it changed into, and you know how old school I am, and especially now living here. I mean, to me, can you keep it real, please?
But
You
that
can
is
keep
real.
it real.
That is real.
But that's too real. It's still a show. It's still WW in front of the E, and 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Rest in peace.
The bigger problem,
You know?
Jimmy, is when they go on
still
Twitter
wrestling.
or they go on Instagram and you
Still
see
wrestling.
Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton dancing together. That's a problem. Like, don't do that. But you go on Twitter where, you know, Roman Reigns is attacking Seth Rollins. That's part of a storyline. That's good.
Right.
That to me is good.
Not losing me at all. That's what I'm saying too. But I don't like I've seen some Twitter stuff used by wrestlers where I'm like, come on, what are you doing? You know, I'm not buying into it. I'm not interested in it. Get in the fucking ring. Cut a good promo. Get in the ring. Sell me your story on a mic and in the ring. Plain and simple.
Here's something that wasn't talked about, which I really enjoyed.
All right.
Lyra Valkyrie, Intercontinental Champion. Her top fell off during the Rumble. Dude, I swear I could have saw boobage. Like, I was like, boobies! I'm serious, dude. But I mean...
All right. As I'm watching this live when it was happening.
Now, did you see full breasts or no? Did we not?
I'll tell you what I saw. I knew right away there was a wardrobe malfunction. I could tell from her body language. I'm like, oh crap, I think it's her top. So I've immediately identified the problem. And then she starts to like battle with it. And you're right, it starts to like malfunction. What I found more hilarious now, to answer your question, I did not see any, like, what can I be from Family Guide? Check out this side boob. You know, I didn't see any of that. What I saw, and it made me laugh, was the whole match moved to the other side of the ring and so did the camera. So you know that there's chaos going on.
Dude, that's what my wife was watching, and I said to my wife, you see how great the WWE's become?
Yeah.
AEW would have left the camera on the whole ring. They totally took the camera off it. The referees ran to her to help her out, and they took it out of your view, like so you couldn't think about it. That is great production, though, man.
It's quick thinking production, but what made me laugh about it is what you can't see, which is what I love about a lot of old movies. It's what you can't see. It's up to your imagination. Today's horror blood gore fests are nothing compared to John Carpenter's Halloween, where it's up to your imagination, a lot of it. It's much less violent.
Well, I got to tell you, her top, like, she kept trying to fix it, kept falling up.
The fact that we couldn't see what was going on and they all bunched up in the other corner in the camera, I'm laughing. I was like, this is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. So I thought it was hilarious, personally.
I'll tell you what, I'm a fan.
Yeah, that was pretty good for live TV.
All right. Royal Rumble, Lucas Oil Stadium, Indianapolis, over 70,000 fans. Right. Notable participants, John Cena, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Paul Logan, Charlotte Flair, and the surprise entrance of Alexa Bliss. Before we get into, memorable or mistake or whatever I fucking titled it, scrolling towards the thing. What were your thoughts about Alexa's return?
Loved it. I've always been a fan of hers. I believe you have too, going way back, Thrilled to see her back. I like the fact that she had the doll with her. That didn't bother me at all. It was like a tribute. It's her first time back. I felt the Bray Wyatt thing, and I liked it. And I was thrilled to see her. And she still obviously has zero body fat. She's Alexa Bliss. She's got charisma. You can love her, you can hate her, but she definitely has it factor. She's got it factor. I was thrilled to see her.
For the first time, Jimmy, when she
thrilled,
came out, I
you know.
realized how small she really
She's
is. And
tiny,
how
but she plays
unbelievable.
big.
Not anymore. She didn't play big to me at the Rumble.
Well,
That's
they
the
didn't.
funny thing.
She was underwhelming in the ring, but isn't that the whole catch right now? Even with the Wyatt Six situation, they've got this big intro, and then
Dude, the Wyatt Six,
it's underwhelming.
they're not even around anymore.
Right.
I don't even see them.
Right. What's her role? What's her role going to be? You know, I mean, it looks like it was a tip of the cap to Bray, but that doesn't mean that she won't come out next time.
I gotta be honest with
Completely
you.
different. I don't know.
I just like the men's. You're at a point now where you can't have too many small women. You've got some real athletes in there that,
Right.
to me, it's not believable that an Alexa Bliss can compete with a Bianca Belair.
Mm-hmm.
What
about this newcomer legend?
Oh
my God!
Oh
Bro.
my God!
Bro, Lash Legend is that? Holy stand back! I mean, my
Dude,
God!
I think I heard
You
either
know?
Benny or Dan from Dan and the Benny they were talking about the other
Mhm.
night.
Yeah.
And I believe it was Benny, and I could be wrong. He could correct me. But I think he said, like, why do you need Jade Cargill when you got Lash Legend? And I was thinking to myself, that's a friggin' great point.
It is.
Why would you need her?
Yeah,
Because, Jade Cargill clearly can't wrestle still, and this Lash Legend can wrestle.
I tell you what, I wouldn't give up on Jade Cargill so fast. I will say that. Let me say that because I wouldn't. As far as Lash Legend goes, she definitely is a believable powerhouse. She's definitely got the shit. She's got the shit. Let alone with it. You know, it's funny. Like Raquel Rodriguez, for example, if I could throw that in fast. Like Lash Legend already has more badassery factor by like a mile. Do you understand what I'm getting at?
Then Rodriguez?
In my opinion, yeah.
Wow.
Well,
I'm a fan of Rodriguez. I got to be honest with you. I
look at her. I look at Lash Legend like a bruiser with Bianca Belair athletic ability. That's kind of scary, is what I'm trying to say.
Just to go back to Rodriguez,
scary combo,
right? Do you remember when Monet came out with what's her name from NWA? What's her name?
What's that?
Huh?
I didn't catch the first part. It's probably my
when
bad.
Mercedes Monet came out with her bodyguard from NWA. Can't remember her name.
Monet has had a total blank on
I gotta go to the comments. But anyway,
AEW. I mean,
Camille. Thanks, Phil. Camille.
Oh,
I remember in the beginning when it first came out, I was like, that's like Shawn Michaels and Diesel. Like, cool. They did nothing of that. They fucked up that whole angle. But I love the fact
I didn't even see that. But by the way, I know what you're talking about, and I understand your observation, but I didn't see it. I didn't see it happening. I saw nothing happening. That's what I saw.
Again, the WWE though now has taken the Rodriguez Liv Morgan thing, and they're calling Rodriguez Big Mommy Cool. And I friggin' love it. You know the way? Like, they need to win the tag team titles. They need to follow that Shawn Michaels Diesel follow through.
Big Mommy Cool.
Big Mommy Cool. Like Big Daddy Cool.
It's not Big Mama Cool?
I think it was Big Mommy. It could be Big Mama Cool.
Please tell me it's Big Mama Cool. You see, to me, there's a big difference. Like if
it could be, I could have it wrong.
I could live with that. Big Mommy Cool? No, I can't live with that. But Big Mama Cool. Now we're talking.
All right. Men's Royal Rumble.
Go ahead.
Mistake or masterpiece?
This should be good. Go ahead. What are you gonna do? You're gonna jump right to the chase? You're gonna go right to the main event?
We're going down. We're going this route.
All right, go ahead.
I'm asking you, bro. You're going to start this.
Well, it says here, winner of the Royal, as we know.
No, that's my notes.
But it says here. I want to explain to the audience what I'm looking at, so they understand how I'm going to respond. All right. Winner Jey Uso, as we all know. Final elimination John Cena, as we all know. Analysis, genius. Now, this is the script laid in front of me. Now, Mike, is that your opinion I'm looking at, or is that the general consensus? Because I know you do your research. Is that the general consensus of the internet community right now? Genius?
I'll explain my thought process. I think that many people are split on this.
They are. They are. Go ahead.
If you're going to ask me my analysis, I'll say this. If I'm running the WWE,
go ahead.
I'm assuming Jey Uso's shirts are going through the roof, right?
Uh-huh.
And we've already had him in this chase and lose many, many a title match, whether it be Intercontinental, World title, different world champions, whatever. It's clear that the Yeet is people, maybe even you, Jimmy, you compare it to Bryan Danielson, you compare it to Kofi Mania.
Yes.
It is not even close. This has blown those both away. It's not even close.
Numbers are bigger nowadays. It's even more global than ever.
Let me finish my point, and then you can go to your point.
But I understand your point.
I think that it had to be done.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem to me, now being what I think I know, is once he beats Gunther at WrestleMania, which you know is going to happen, and the place is going to blow off the roof. It may even be the second night main event and finishing like that with people doing it. Mm-hmm. The question is, and this is factual, and I don't care what anyone says. I know this to be a fact. His mic work, to use Jimmy's phrase, is serviceable. His ring work is good. He is not a sustainable champion. And that is a fact. He's a Tommy Rich and he's a Dusty Rhodes. Again, you might be shocked I'm saying Dusty Rhodes. I'm saying Dusty Rhodes was not a sustainable champion. That's why he never held on to the championship. Jey Uso for the short term was the right decision. For the long term, I don't know where you go with it. It's all yours, Jimmy.
All right. History tells me this much. First of all, Jey Uso is no fucking Dusty Rhodes. Let me just get that out of the way. All right. Dusty Rhodes, back in those days, it was about the chase. And Dusty would get it, he'd lose it, and then he'd chase again. Well, he was main event. He really was main event. He was a bad motherfucker. So he's not Jey Uso. So fuck that. All right. As far as the decision, yes, I agree with you. He sells the most merchandise. Business-wise, short term, I've seen him pulled before. I saw it with Daniel Bryan. I saw it with Kofi Mania. I don't think he's sustainable either. I agree 1,000%. I don't think.
But you agree that this is bigger than the Yes Movement and bigger than Kofi Mania.
No, it's not bigger than the Yes Movement. It's bigger than Kofi Mania, and I'll explain why it's not bigger than the Yes Movement. Because oddly enough, and this is just my opinion, of these three examples where we've seen the crowd basically tell ownership what they want, all right, in these three circumstances, okay, only one of them was sustainable, and he's proven it, and his name is Bryan Danielson.
Wait a minute. How can you say he's sustainable? That's not true. That's not true at all.
In my opinion, I'm telling you how I feel as a wrestling fan. I'm saying as a wrestling fan, I just feel that Daniel Bryan, the wrestler, and Daniel Bryan, the career, pisses on the other careers of those two.
Wow.
That's my fucking opinion. I think
Uso's the greatest tag team of all time. Daniel Bryan said pissing on that.
What was that? No, he's not part of the. No, he's not part of the greatest. One of the greatest tag teams of all time, but he is one of the greatest in-ring wrestlers of all time. I mean, stop. Kofi Kingston and Jey Uso compared in the ring compared to Daniel Bryan. That's like
what I'm saying is that Jey Uso's been doing this for 15 years.
He's a great wrestler.
I'm not a Jey Uso fan, dude. So I'm gonna flat out say that to you. But that all being said, again, I think that this Yeet thing is so much bigger than both of those movements you discussed. Well, before,
perhaps as far as merchandise, but for some reason I doubt it. I mean, yes was incorporated into the professional sports teams and shit. Until I see them doing Yeets at NFL games, I'm not going to compare it to Daniel Bryan's cultural impact, because when he was at the top of his game, he was really at the top of his game. I mean, the whole nation knew about who Daniel Bryan was and what Yes was. Everybody was going Yes. I mean, like not in wrestling circles is what I'm saying. You know, so Yeet, I don't think Yeet is bigger than Yes is what I'm saying.
Well, that's your opinion. We'll agree to disagree. I want to ask you about the men's Rumble, but first I want to ask you, what do you think? Supposedly Drew McIntyre was really pissed off in real life. I'm going to play a video. Tell me what you think happened. What are you thinking there? Do you think this is all just nonsense?
Yeah, I do. Why? I think that's nonsense.
Supposedly, Drew walked out. He was angry. He was not supposed to exit that fast.
Oh, they got the order wrong? Is that what Drew's upset about?
That's the claim.
If that's what he's upset about, I'd be really irritated. But you've been saying to me for weeks, "Well, Drew's getting buried," and I don't think Drew should get that buried. To tell you the truth,
I think Drew is entering a land now where I don't know what they're going to do with him. Right? He's been the fodder for some of the major stars at this point, and it's like,
I'll tell you what,
Jey Uso, CM Punk, it's not been good.
You can't because of his size. You cannot Dolph Ziggler him. Do you understand what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I do.
You can't with Drew. They made the mistake. We've seen them succeed with him, but we also saw them fail with him. Bobby Lashley. You can't. There's a certain direction when guys are that big. You better protect them and what you've built with them. Otherwise, like you said, they wander into the booking of Never Never Land, and they fall into what we call indifference, which is what happened with Ziggler many times. You know he's a great wrestler. You know he's giving you some really good moments, but he's in Never Never Land. You just can't invest yourself in indifference, and that's where McIntyre is heading. I'd be pretty pissed if I was McIntyre.
Let me ask you, when it comes to the men's Rumble, what did you like about it? And more importantly, what were you disappointed in? I know obviously you wanted CM Punk to win, but beyond that, like, did you think it should have ended a different way? Or were you happy with the way it ended?
Well, here's the funny part, and by the way, I see all these seeds being sown. There's all these possibilities, but I got a feeling that Punk, Reigns, and Rollins are going to have a triple threat one of those nights. I just got that feeling. It seems to be interchangeable, the hatred between the three of them, and it makes sense in a booking thing. You got to jam 80 pounds of shit a 2-pound bag on WrestleMania weekend and make it count. I could see that match happening. Now, for the first time in my life, Mike, you know how I felt about John Cena all these years. The character, John Cena, the character. I have spent decades, every single time I've seen him, rooting against him. Oh, somebody beat this guy. Please beat this guy. Beat him. So there he is at the end. And he's got him on his shoulders. He's got Jey Uso on his shoulders. And I'm like, wow, I want John Cena to win the Royal Rumble. Oh, my God. I'm actually wanting John Cena to win the Royal Rumble because, you talk about T-shirts and you talk about fame. I don't give a crap when anybody says, you're going to tell me Jey Uso is more famous and a bigger name than John Cena? This all gets back to the reason Punk left all those years ago. That's John Cena. And it's his final year. And he's got him on his shoulders. And all of a sudden, the mid-carder, who I still can't separate from being a tag team wrestler, as you said, he's an Uso. He's one of the...
Can I interrupt you there?
I'm looking at this and I'm going, for the one time, I root for John. John's eliminated. And
here's where I'm going to interrupt you with that, though, because I think about when I looked at wrestling, right? When Stone Cold Steve Austin came in as the ringmaster, I wasn't a Steve Austin guy. I hated him. Yeah. You know what I mean? But he eventually turned me, right? They eventually, through the marketing and through the production, all of a sudden you're a Stone Cold Steve Austin guy.
I haven't turned.
Shawn Michaels, right? Remember when he turned single? We were like, oh, come on. He's the Rockers. But all of a sudden, Shawn Michaels becomes Shawn Michaels.
And how old was Shawn when that happened?
I don't know, man. That's a good question.
You think that Jay, who's closer to 40 than he is 30, you think that that's the same thing?
I would say that. I'm not saying it is or it isn't. All I'm saying is there a chance? That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Is there a chance that he ascends into superstardom? In just my,
I think he's in superstar.
He's already in superstar, but does he ascend to one of those heavyweight champions we talk about for years? The answer is fucking no.
No, that's no. That is a no.
No.
Is he going to be an iconic figure? No. Is he going to be a Roman Reigns? No, he's not. Right. He's not.
Right. On a business level, I mean, honestly, like if you were arguing with me behind the scenes, once again, we got to play let's pretend it's our company, right? And you're telling me, Jay, you should put the belt on Jay. You know what I'm telling you? I'm telling you that John Cena, Roman Reigns, CM Punk alone, those three names have more value in the big picture to the company and have had more value than this guy. And I would be like, this is WrestleMania we're talking about. And it's always been a proven formula. You can't have it both ways. All those years ago, you went on record that it was the right decision to have John Cena come and fight The Rock, and The Rock comes out of Hollywood, and it was the right decision. You can't tell me that they're the same thing. They are not.
It's a different time, and I'm going to explain this to you why.
I'd be arguing.
If it was one night, no, you can't. But it's 2 nights, and you're still going to get your CM Punk, your fucking Roman Reigns, right? You're still going to get that.
But here's where the traditionalist in me gets curb stomped, okay? I want the most important storyline. I'm still that selfish from the old days. I want the most important storyline, and we've seen WrestleManias where it's not always that way because of these 2-night things.
Right.
I want the most important storyline to be about the World Heavyweight Championships.
Well, and it will be.
That's what I want.
It will be.
Well, it may not necessarily be that way because I think that one night it could very
well
be.
You're going to get Gunther and Jay the first night.
If you get Rollins, Reigns, and Punk in a 3-way, well, guess what? That is going to be a main event one of those 2 nights. And that's not for a belt.
Dude, you're forgetting about Cody, dude.
Cody's going to wind up fighting, obviously, somebody. But who? Who's Cody going to fight? Is he going to fight Punk?
I think he's going to fight John Cena. I think he's going to fight John Cena in the main event.
Okay, so then what happens to Punk? He's in a match with Reigns and Rollins. You don't think
I think there's a possibility of CM Punk's not going to get his main event.
Wow. Another year? He's still chasing it? He's going to be around next year?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Dude, I'm not saying I'm right. All I'm saying, I don't know.
Yeah, my gut.
I will tell you this.
To get his way to one of those nights as the WrestleMania main event. That's what I think is going to happen.
Listen, here's the thing. You got to cash in the favor. Okay?
Right.
It doesn't make sense if you don't.
That's the favor. That he gets his WrestleMania main event. He's going to get it. Somehow, he's going to get one of those 2 nights. He's going to get that.
Fair enough.
They can't be that stupid.
I'll leave the men's rumble because I want to move on to the women's rumble, but I'll just say this about the men's rumble, okay? I thought Cena was going to win until I realized Jey Uso was still in the ring. I thought Jey Uso was thrown out, and I missed it.
Right.
You know what I mean? The minute I saw Jey in there, I was like, oh, no.
My gut read said the same thing when it was those last 3. When it was Jey, Logan, and John, I was like, yep, they're going to give it to Jey.
They're giving it to Jey.
Yeah,
all right.
I felt that way. Go ahead.
Charlotte Flair wins the Rumble. Thoughts on that?
Oh, boo. Boo! Why is she coming back and getting the title thing immediately, winning the Rumble? Boo! You know what? What a bunch of bullshit. She's a legendary professional wrestler who's given her body for this business and was out for 12 fucking months rehabbing to get back into the ring when she doesn't even need to at this point. Let's be honest, Mike. She doesn't need to. She's a fucking legend, okay? She comes back and she fucking wins. Yeah, she should have won. I thought it was the right decision. Piss off. You don't like it? Too bad. You know, she's Charlotte fucking Flair. Wake the fuck up. You know, I love when they decide careers are over, you know, because that's how I took that. You know, you want to start booing her and shit. Boo, boo, boo. Fuck Hogan and his legacy too. Boo, boo, boo. I can't take it. It's like, what did they do? Kill somebody? It's wrestling. What the fuck? And thank goodness, Charlotte, as usual, is pinpoint on, and she's playing a heel and playing
the way I look at it is the fans are stupid when they say that because guess what? Let's just throw it hypothetically. Roxanne Perez wins it.
Right.
Roxanne against Tiffany Stratton. Roxanne against Rhea Ripley. I don't know. That's not something I'm excited to see. But you give me Tiffany Stratton against Charlotte Flair. I'm there every day but Sunday.
Yeah. And by the way, Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton excites me a lot more than Gunther versus Jey Uso. Can I throw that in?
You sure can. It's your show.
I think I just did.
Here was the disappointment of the night to me, though, and I did not understand this. Okay.
Go ahead. All right.
First of all, I want to tell you, Dan and Benny from Dan and Benny in the Ring. Benny chose Jade Cargill to win the Rumble, and Jade Cargill did not even participate. But here's what I don't understand.
He's speculating. It's scripted. We don't have the script. Go on.
Here's the you got to know that she wasn't going to be in it.
I think if she had come in, would you have been like surprised? I wouldn't.
No. Well, this is what I'm going to say. No, to be fair to Benny, I thought she was going to be in it. And here's the thing. When are we going to close this story? Okay, so there's 2 things going on. Either she's really hurt, or
Or
she just
sucks.
can't wrestle, and they
Or she
can't get
sucks.
her going. Right? She sucks. Right?
Right.
Because dude, like to me, if I was writing it, and even if Jade couldn't wrestle, okay,
Right.
have Jade come in, clear the ring. It's Naomi and Bianca
All right.
and Jade, and they hug, and then Naomi and Bianca throw her out of the ring.
Uh-huh.
Because that was the disappointing thing. The women, there was a bunch of them, and all of a sudden they all went out at the same time. And I was like,
Yeah.
what? You know,
When
talk about
Nia
rushing
wait a
something.
minute. When Nia Jax came in and took 6 of them out in one
Yeah.
clip, that was
And I
great.
just thought if you
That
could
was
have,
great.
I mean, are we going to agree that Bianca is turning heel?
I hope so. I think she'd be great at it. I think she should do it as soon as
Her
possible.
husband's turning heel, which we'll get into shortly.
By the way, all right, then I'll save it. I have a lot
No,
to say about
bring it on. Say it right now. Go ahead.
Montez Ford is one of the most underutilized secret weapons, and it has been for the last couple of years, in my opinion. He reeks of aura. He reeks of it. He has personality. And he's chiseled now, Mike. You've seen what kind of shape he's in. It's like, why are you wasting him? He's killer on the mic. He's funny as fuck.
You know what, Montez
talk
Ford
about not tapping into something. at all.
Montez Ford is going. Jey Uso stole my spot.
I'll agree with that, and I bet you Montez Ford would have done it better.
I'll go on record. That's so unfair to say that, dude. You can't get any better than what's happening now.
No, you can't. You can't. Well, why not? Why can't you?
You're going to get 70,000 people. Did you watch Raw, the beginning of Raw? It was 8 minutes. They wouldn't even let this guy fucking talk.
We've had me on previous rants where it's like, hey, we get to go like this. You know? I mean, I'm like, what the hell's going on?
And again, I want to make it clear, I am not a fan. I am not a fan of his at all.
It doesn't matter if we're not. He's over, Rover.
Right.
Let Jey Uso take over for now. The impact is not going to be like, Roman.
Montez Ford is going to fall. Montez Ford is going to fall into the hurt business category. He's going to fall into like Bobby.
He's not even there. He's like he's just there.
He's going to be Shelton Benjamin. All this talent, all this look, all this glitter, and it's just not going to happen.
I don't even think he'll be Shelton Benjamin. I mean, he hasn't. Yeah. Shelton Benjamin actually accomplished a few things that could really go. I mean, whatever.
What'd you think of this match, the main event? Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes.
Loved it. I loved it. I thought it was great. It had an obvious outcome, but as far as what they do in the ring and the story they tell, it's Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens.
Do you think they should have gave the belt to Cody? I mean, to Kevin.
To Kevin? No. What were you doing that for? He's not going to win the belt. I mean, why would you do that? That makes no sense. Cody.
Well, let me ask you this: Monday Night Raw, Kevin comes out and he attacks Sami Zayn.
Yeah,
don't understand this at all. Again,
what's there?
It's stupid. It's stupid.
What's there to understand? Kevin and Sami for fucking over a decade have had this love-hate, whatever. That to me is just like it's just a lazy go-to. Do you understand what I'm saying?
That is that's a good explanation. Lazy go-to. Got nothing for Kevin anymore. We're done with him, right? And where does Cody go from here, dude? Just whoever wins Elimination Chamber.
I think so. I think that's fair. Maybe that's where
who's winning Elimination Chamber.
Well, who's in it? I mean, I'm not up to date.
It's gonna be Seth, Roman, Cena,
Punk,
maybe Sami Zayn, Punk. How many people get in there? 5 or 6? I don't
know. I think 6. I'm not even sure.
So who's winning? If the guys you think are supposed to be in there, who's winning?
Logically, it should be Punk. I mean, Punk should have a world title shot in the main event, one way or the other.
So you want to see Punk? You want to see Punk Rhodes more than you want to see Cena Rhodes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that'd be a better story. To tell you the truth, they've walked similar paths. To tell you the truth. And there has been a seed dropped about it. You saw the promo.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that logically Punk should win and get that main event on one of those nights. And Jay will have the other night. And that makes perfect sense to me, if that's the way the route they're going. So, to me, yeah, Punk should win the Elimination Chamber. Kevin Owens is Kevin Owens. You can have him lose 1,000 times, but at this point, with his body of work, how damaged is Kevin Owens from any of this? There was no damage done here.
No,
You
I
know?
mean, let me tell you something.
Kevin Owens
I
is
was never a
invincible.
Kevin Owens guy. That's a guy who won me over. That
Yeah.
that guy gives you a good match no matter what and who his opponent is. I will say this:
He
Sami
doesn't become-
Zayn, Kevin
Uh-huh.
Owens.
Uh-huh.
These guys are worth their weight in gold.
They are, and you know what? By the way, and this is thinking way in advance. Okay, Jay beats Gunther. The seeds have already been planted. The friendship between Jay and Sammy. Sammy's never been world champion. Don't you see the doors that this opens? Now that Jay, we go from Roman, we go to Jay because he's in right now, and eventually Sammy winds up with the belt and turns heel, and there's a feud, and blah, 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 blah. And Sammy finally gets his world title, or maybe it's the other way. But one way or the other, all these seeds that are going to happen in the future are going to happen in the future. Sami Zayn eventually is going to be world champion. I can see it coming. He'll get that one thank you, Mike, for that awesome match he gave us with Johnny Knoxville. He'll get the thank you.
One of the great in my
He'll
top
get
10 greatest WrestleMania matches.
And Kevin will have a final thank you too for like the Stone Cold for doing the programs with Jericho.
Isn't doing a match with Stone Cold the thank you?
It is the thank you. I mean, Kevin's already, like I said, Kevin is okay. Unlike Dolph, whose character got stale, there's the difference right there. That guy that we originally talked about that looked like the postman next door, Kevin Owens,
Right.
has more real factor. And that's what kept Kevin Owens all these years like never stale. Kevin Owens, there's something so brutally real about Kevin Owens. You buy into him. His gimmick is actually way more effective if you're going to put him in Never Never Land. Because let's face it, Mike, he's been put there. You know what I mean? And he makes everything they ask him to do work, and he never gets stale. And that's what happened to Ziggler, unfortunately, who's now what? Nick Nemeth and
I want to jump to the tag team match where on ESPN
Sure.
I told you I'll be sleeping during that.
Right.
That match.
Did you?
That was the worst fucking match. It was so bad. I'm sorry. I just thought it was bad.
Why is it checked off as genius?
It's not me that does that, dude.
Oh, so we have a ghostwriter.
We have a ghostwriter. I write it and then I run it through a system that cleans it up and then does some things, right? So this is not me. This is,
right.
Again, if DIY beats Motor City Machine Guns, that made all the sense in the world, right? Because Motor City Machine Guns go back to wherever you came from. No mic skills, nothing.
Not impressed, huh?
Not at all.
Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley do nothing for you.
You know what's scary? If you take all the belts that the Motor City Machine Guns won and then you put it against the Dudley Boys, Motor City Machine Guns, if you just go on belts, are the greatest tag team of all time.
Oh, Bob, bullshit.
They have more belts from more organizations than anybody does.
I'm well aware of that, and I still don't know that.
Well, I'm not saying I agree with it either. All I'm saying is if you just go by that stat alone, they would be the greatest tag team of all time.
What? Because they did it the most? Okay, whatever. This is scripted wrestling,
dude. Wait, see, but that's the thing. We always say scripted wrestling, and I say that.
Yankees,
but hold on.
Go on.
When someone gives you their belt, usually in their federation, no matter what federation it is, they're saying that you're the one that's going to bring in the crowd that's going to make me the most money. Right? That's the idea behind it. So if a plethora of organizations have given them their title, their tag team title belt, that means they were considered the best tag team in that organization at that time, right?
Right. I'm following. Yeah.
I'm not saying they're the greatest tag team.
And who are the organizations and what was the draw?
I don't know, dude. You're mistaking me for a wrestling fan right now.
Right. Well, the wrestling fans out there should know that the draw.
You're mistaking me for a wrestling nerd.
Yeah, they should know that the draw of an Usos or even back in the day a Demolition is not the draw of the Motor City Machine Guns. So that's the end of that. I don't care how many belts you won in how many other places. That doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is overall impact in the biggest scene of them all. And nowadays, it's known as the WWE.
Sean Ellis says the Royal Rumble was the perfect, except having retired legends returning to the WWE. Women's Royal Rumble sucked, as Nikki Bella and Trish Stratus and Natalya Neidhart being in. So I'm going to respond to that. Yes, Sean could have done without Natalya.
Okay.
Love Trish Stratus. Can never think is wrong. And again,
Right.
totally get the Nikki Bella hate, but I honestly love Nikki Bella. Love Nikki Bella. Would I rather have seen Becky Lynch? Yes. Would I have rather have seen Jade Cargill? Yes.
Right.
Jimmy, what are your thoughts on Mr. Ellis's comments?
Well, he's got one reasonable one, and the other one's, I mean, Trish Stratus was what? You don't know your history? Obviously, I would tend to think you do. Trish Stratus still looks great, and if you had told me like a year ago that she'd be exchanging moves with Nia Jax, I'd say you're fucking insane. So I was happy to see that. Trish is obviously still what's the term, Mike? Serviceable? She's beyond serviceable. She still gets it. She
still gets it done.
She's Trish Stratus.
Biggest pop of the night, though, for the women. Definitely our girl Alexa Bliss, which was very surprising for me.
Right. Well,
E40 says Owen needs to go to the gym. His stomach is pushing his shirt out 10 feet. Oh, yeah, and small arms and short and fat. Well, he's got a stomach like me, B40. So, yeah, I got to say that I totally get that comment.
And his small package pile driver is like one of the most devastating things in WWE. But go on.
The president says
B40, what's up, B40?
Edge should have changed his name to Ledge or Cliff.
What? Why would they...
Edge, come on, dude. Ledge, Cliff.
You don't have to explain it. I'm like,
who are you, fucking Conan now? Come on, buddy.
Oh my God, no, dude, I was there the whole time. I'm like, why is he jumping? I guess not
B40. I hate today's fan crying. What about the young talent? This is true.
Yeah,
that is a little bit annoying.
Yeah, that's fair.
You see what other comments I got? We haven't done the comments in a while, buddy. So it's a good time to do it. Smart people in the room today.
Sure. Mr. President already helped us out earlier.
Let me see. Got anything good here? Keep it going, Jimmy. Keep it going. Okay, keep talking.
It going. I can't even see what's on the screen. Keep it going.
Let's see
what
this.
Do you want me to come?
Matt Karcher. Ford isn't as over as Uso. LA Knight's spot was stolen by Uso.
Well,
yeah, I agree. Yeah, but LA Knight couldn't hold the spot. He's no good. And I got to be honest.
He didn't get a chance to run with the ball. The ball took it off him.
I'm going to tell you the problem with LA Knight. I think he's getting punished because every time things don't go his way, he's going to lose before he gets in the ring. The way he walks up, his total attitude is different when he's got to do the job.
Yeah, he's probably not too happy in backstage. I'm sure something must be going on. I wouldn't be surprised.
B40's on fire today. Owens versus Cody equals Daffy Duck versus Fozzie Bear.
Versus Fozzie Bear? Who's Daffy Duck? Well, Daffy Duck, I'm assuming, would be Cody, I guess. Fozzie Bear? It's an interesting combo.
Jay Will, Billy Gunn puts the work in. Impressive work for a man. Dude, Billy Gunn is a fucking beast, dude.
Yeah, he is.
Nothing like HGH. HGH can do the world for you.
He's like a statue, pretty much. He's chiseled.
Let me see what Maria Davis is saying.
He's an ass man, Mike. Billy Gunn.
Oh, wait a minute. Phil has something to say. Lash Legend for Women's Rumble and a surprise entrant. Lash LaRue for the men. Lash LaRue. It's funny, Jimmy. You want to have Lash LaRue on the show? He wants to come on. What are you thinking? It's funny Phil brings it up. Lash LaRue.
I remember Lash. He wasn't friends with Kevin Nash. Otherwise, he would have gotten some
All right, so can I share a secret with you on this?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I was contacted from Lash LaRue, and I thought it was Lash Legend. So I'm like, hell yeah! And then I'm like, send me some pictures, and he sends pictures. I'm like, oh no! But I'm like, I fucked up. This is a true story, Jimmy. I am not lying.
You are losing it. You really are. You are losing it,
dude. I thought it was Lash Legend, dude.
Wow!
I was so excited. I'm like, oh my god, we got Lash Legend.
Yeah.
Wait, well.
We're not allowed to have Lash Legend. She's under contract.
She is under contract. The first lady of Let me tell you something. Maria Davis is one good-looking lady. I'm a Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl fan just for this, since the Steelers suck. The Steelers don't suck, Maria. The Jets suck. I wish I had a sucky team like the Steelers who make it every year. Come on, stop it already.
You know, it's been since 2008. You know, it's been
That is a long time, dude.
It's been 17 years, and this is the Pittsburgh Steelers we're talking about. You know,
It is a long time.
I understand Maria's frustration, but at the same time, as a Jet fan, and Maria and I have talked about this too. It's just like she wouldn't care if Tomlin was gone tomorrow. And me, you, with all the coaches we've suffered through, I'm like, you could throw them this way if you feel like it, you know. But yeah, I'll be rooting for the Eagles too on so many different levels and reasons.
I'll be rooting for this.
Would you stop with the spear?
Oh, man, bro.
I'm sure he's still feeling that.
Dude,
That's for sure.
That's
You know what I
literally
wish?
the greatest
I
thing
wish
ever.
somebody would hit Patrick Mahomes like that. How's that sound, Maria? You know, is that too much? Am I going too far? But I would love it if somebody speared him. That'd be
All right.
tough.
Well, Jimmy, we've had
As
some
long as
great,
it's a legal hit, you know what I mean?
we had some great talks tonight. Conan, Tommy Dreamer. It's been a good Thursday. I really enjoyed everybody. We want to thank everybody for joining us. Jimmy, you were fantastic as always. Any final thoughts on the two shows tonight?
Well, it's been a rough week, so this always brings me a little joy to be able to do our program and check out all the cool people at home. You know, we did have you on Complete Fire. I mean, pretty much Conan is going to have to be pushing up the daisies to get past what you got done with over there.
You know what, dude? Yeah,
But,
yeah. Odalay yourself and come back to us on that one, buddy.
Odalay yourself. He probably has to nowadays. I mean, can he reach that far?
All right, send us out, dude.
Or does he need tweezers?
Send us out, tweezers.
Yeah, let me speak on this. You've been watching Monty and the Pharaoh, and until next time, later.